nature deficit disorder, as people, we all have sensory systems. We have these human bodies that are kind of uniquely designed to take in information from a natural surroundings. So the sensory stimulus of bird sounds and having wind moving through the air is a very different environment than what people normally experience in the modern world. We spend a lot of time inside the confines of walls. And so when I think about nature deficit disorder, I think about just the fact that even on a sensory level, our brains aren't being fed in the same way that you would get when you're outside in the woods. And people always talk about how nourishing it is for them to go camping and just get away from the busy pace of the work that they do, or just our daily lives, kind of get away and experience the great outdoors, and how that kind of calms us down, kind of puts us into a meditative state, and stimulates our senses in a way that we don't normally get in the world. And so a lot of the psychological problems that are linked to nature deficit are actually sensory disorders, like autism and Asperger's, and those attention deficit. Those sorts of things respond very well when you take kids who have attention deficit and you put them out in the forest. They can use that expanded attention. There's enough stimulation that they're able to actually pay attention a lot better. If you took scans of the brain of a person who was blind, you would notice that their visual cortex is smaller than people who can see. Same thing with people who are deaf, that the actual sensory engagement that you have with the world has a direct impact on your brain, in that your brain is going to put energy into the things that you're using. So when you go out into nature, it does require you to use your senses in a stronger way. It's an environment that naturally pulls us to use our eyes with more focus, with more peripheral awareness, to use our ears with more sensitivity, with a greater three-dimensional range of just being aware of the space around us. And it also calls us to just form intricate mental maps of a landscape. So not even necessarily sensing things directly externally, but just navigating a landscape so that you don't get lost. That's another way of using your brain that gets, I like to think of it as like exercising your brain, really, is when you use your eyes and your ears and your nose out in nature, you are having a direct impact on the neuroplasticity of your brain. Music is a great example because it's another example of a sensory skill that you have to track tone and rhythm and pitch and all these different things. That does have a direct impact on the brain. And so with nature, it's the same thing. And the other thing about nature is, music's kind of like a cultural thing that has been part of human culture for a long time. But we're natural creatures, and we spent the majority of our evolution in nature. Our brains have developed throughout, both in the life of an individual and through the life of humanity in general, in nature, getting that mental nourishment from our senses.